John Wayne Gacy was not a drifter. He was not isolated.
He was not hiding in the shadows.
He was a businessman, a political volunteer, a neighbor people waved to, and beneath his home lay the bodies of dozens of young men.
This is the story of how one of America's most prolific serial killers lived openly while no one looked closely enough.
John Wayne Gacy was born in 1942 in Chicago. His childhood was marked by a violent, abusive father, a desperate need for approval, deep insecurity masked by charm.
As a young man, Gacy learned an important lesson: appearing respectable could hide almost anything.
He married, had children, and became involved in his community. But beneath that surface, Gacy struggled with repressed sexuality, anger, a desire for dominance.
These internal conflicts would later define his crimes.
In the late 1960s, Gacy was already committing sexual assaults against young men. In Iowa, he was convicted of sodomy and sent to prison, but the sentence was short.
After his release, Gacy returned to Chicago, remarried, and rebuilt his image. He started a contracting business and hired teenage boys, often runaways or financially vulnerable youths.
It was here that the killings began.
His method was chillingly simple: gain trust, isolate, restrain, strangle. Many victims were lured with job offers. Others were coerced or tricked.
By day, Gacy was a respected community figure.
By night, he was murdering young men in his home. He even performed at charity events as Pogo the Clown. This contrast disturbed investigators later, not because the clown persona caused the violence, but because it symbolized Gacy's greatest weapon: disguise.
Neighbors heard nothing, friends suspected nothing.
Authorities dismissed early warnings.
Several missing persons reports were filed. Nothing happened. As the murders continued, Gacy ran out of places to dispose of bodies. He began burying them beneath his house. Over time, the crawl space filled. The smell became unbearable, but Gacy explained it away as sewer problems, damp soil, or animal remains.
Again, no one pushed further. Between 1972 and 1978, Gacy murdered at least 33 young men.
Most were never reported missing in a way that triggered urgency.
In 1978, the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Peast finally broke the pattern. Witnesses placed Peast with Gacy shortly before he vanished.
This time, police paid attention, surveillance followed. A search warrant was issued.
When investigators dug beneath Gacy's home, they found human remains.
The scale of the crime shocked the nation.
Gacy was arrested and charged with dozens of murders.
During his trial, Gacy showed little remorse. He attempted to shift blame, claiming multiple personalities or that others were responsible. The jury rejected these claims.
In 1980, John Wayne Gacy was sentenced to death. He was executed by lethal injection in 1994.
John Wayne Gacy was not driven by impulse. He was driven by a need for power, control over vulnerable victims, and the belief he was smarter than everyone around him. He used charm as camouflage, respectability as armor, and silence as permission. His greatest strength was not cruelty, it was believability. John Wayne Gacy's crimes didn't happen in isolation. They happened because warnings were ignored, victims were dismissed, and trust went unquestioned. The horror wasn't hidden in darkness. It lived in a quiet neighborhood beneath a house no one thought to search.